Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. To say I'm invested in the story at this point is a significant understatement. I really want to see how this plays out. Last time, Nomiya pulled me out of class, and I'm assuming that he's either about to ask me for help with Reen or blame me for whatever Reen's up to. Yeah. Nomiya doesn't take me anywhere, contenting himself with the hallway as it's completely abandoned.
Do you know where Tezuka is?
Oh. Okay, that's a problem. So she's trying to avoid the teacher. Par for the course, probably. I wonder if she realizes that she can't avoid dealing with this indefinitely. I have no idea. You've probably asked in her homeroom next door.
Of course I have. Searched every nook and cranny of this blasted school and the girls' dorm. You're the last one to see her since yesterday, and you are her friend. Work with me here. Aren't you worried?
I am, but I don't know what I could do. Reen did something incomprehensible yesterday, even for her. My guess is she's at the art studio, or she's up on the hill behind the school. She seemed really confused. Maybe she just wants some time to think then. I got the feeling she had second thoughts about having that exhibition. Or something. She really didn't explain what was wrong.
What second thoughts?
I don't know. Just got that feeling. I am being a little dishonest with the teacher, but this is not something I should be meddling with. He came to me. Yes. Why? Maybe he thinks I'm some sort of confidant of Reen's. But I don't think I can help with this matter. Think harder! I already figured out 2 places to check. The teacher huffs and scratches his head in confusion.
What's up with that girl? This is so unlike her. She's always been so goal-driven.
Goal-driven? Those don't really strike me as words to describe Reen with. To me, she always felt obsessive at best. I don't mean to be rude. Wasn't it you who pushed Reen to that direction in the first place? Okay, that is high up on the list of things and not helpful to ask right now.
Her goal is my goal. That is a mentor's job.
Guess so. I just don't know if painting can make her happy.
That's pretty preposterous of you to say, Nakai.
He suddenly sounds pretty irate. Did I say something stupid? Yeah, actually you did. This is not the issue right now.
You don't understand, do you? It's not a question of happiness. For every gain, there is a sacrifice to be made. There is no free lunch, but would I let that girl waste away her talent if she has a moment of doubt? Never! Painting is work, just like any other. Tezuka might make it look like child's play to you, but she works hard every day to make her art. To become extraordinary, one has to make an extraordinary effort.
The more the teacher talks, the more I feel that Reen doesn't think like that, even though I have no idea how she thinks.
I can very well understand why she would sacrifice her summer vacation and make up for the lost classes and exams to get a chance at showing her art. This is the path she has taken, and to go all the way, that's not easy. I know she is young, and things are hard for her, just like for all the kids here in this school, but that's no excuse.
He is finished. But
do you have anything like what art is to Tezuka?
That's a good counter question, but also completely irrelevant to the circumstance. No. That's right. I have only vague ideas of my future, no goal to shoot for, no dream to blindly reach for. I joined that art club in search of something I could be interested in, to get inspired by. Did I find something like that? All I found in the end was Reen. No, I don't have a passion like that.
Then you can't understand.
His flat statement allows no counter-argument. But she might not understand even herself. Still, I carry on arguing, out of spite if for nothing else.
How could she not? She's been at it so hard for the past few weeks that she put off even coming to school, not to say anything about attending class. Don't be ridiculous.
I don't think I'm being ridiculous, but as I have no rebuttal, Nomiya seems to consider this one his win.
At any rate, the opening was quite successful despite Tezuka hardly showing up. Many people were interested in her artwork, and one piece was even sold for a reasonable price.
Well, that's nice, isn't it?
Yes, it's fantastic news. I hoped that Tezuka would come to her senses when she heard about this, but...
He sighs and takes off his glasses, cleaning them against his jacket before putting them on his nose again.
At any rate, I should be going. There's this mess to be settled with Sei and everyone. If you see Tezuka, please ask her to come see me. Otherwise, have a nice vacation.
Thanks. I don't like you as much as I once did, Nomiya. I think you are misguided in this particular case. After he has disappeared around the corner, I ponder where Reen could really be. It feels like she has not one, but at least half a dozen of these secret places. I balance between the desire to solve this tangle and to drop it for good. The disused classroom is just a few feet away. What to do? As I push open the door, only the shadows greet me from the inside.
Hi, we're shadows. Would you mind closing the door?
Hey there. Ah, I guess there was more than just shadows. She's standing in the middle of the sunlit room, peering through the gaps of the curtains out into the yard. Wow, Nomiya sucks at trying to find people. Like so often before, she doesn't start or jump, just calmly waits for me to make the first move. It's as if she's trying to become a permanent part of the furniture. The teacher is looking for you. A blank look over her shoulder is all I get, accompanied by a cryptic non-expression on her face.
Are you looking for me too?
Nah, I already found you, didn't I? Good response. You're learning the way she communicates.
Did you?
She furrows her brow, looking so puzzled that it makes me wonder if the question was asked in all seriousness. Maybe it was. Are you talking metaphorically now?
Do you mean like eels, caves, and dark, stormy nights? I am bad at talking like that.
The abruptly ended greetings give me the chance to close the door behind me and sit down on a dust-covered desktop. Reen stays standing, but at least she turns around. I soon wish she didn't, though. So oppressive is her expectant stare. This is her place, and I'm an intruder, although a tolerated one. Despite that, she still waits for me to say something. If I only knew what. The sunlit silence presses me towards decisions. I came here without really thinking what I would do, apart from delivering Nomiya's short message in case Reen was here. She was, and now I don't know what else I want to say. What else I should say. I hover between my two options for a moment. Reen being troubled troubles me too. It's a surprising revelation, almost as big as realizing that she really is realizing that she really is troubled was. Nothing I can do would probably help, and I might be partially to blame, too. Does it mean I should just wash my hands of her? Didn't think so. So, what's wrong? Nothing. She starts to turn away again, as if trying to physically exit a conversation she doesn't want to have. Reen, stop trying to dodge me or I'll leave. Very good. Establish a boundary. Okay. Do you want me to leave? Are you still angry? It took us, or was it only me, 10 seconds to swamp the conversation into this. I wish we could erase the past, or failing that, forget all about it. I've wished for that more than once in the last few months. Let's put that aside for the time being, alright? If you say so. I do. So, what's wrong? Say and Nomiya were not happy that you just ran off yesterday. You left them in quite a pinch, and I suppose the teacher wants some kind of an explanation. It seems like you just threw out everything you had worked for, and I don't get why. Did I make a mistake? My reprimanding and her flat answer goes so much against the usual expectations and presumed interactions that it might just as well be somebody else talking. Neither of us is like we used to be. This stiff, constricting feeling I get every time I look at Reen nowadays seems to be mirrored in her own behavior. I hate things that go irreparably wrong. Ever since February, I've hated them. What can I say? Her question is trailed by a compelling, quizzical stare that makes me sigh and frown. Conversations nobody wants to have are the worst. Oh yeah, I've been in a lot of those. I don't know. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it probably was pretty stupid. She responds with a sigh of her own, although hers is not nearly as heavy as mine was. I just couldn't do it. But why? What's wrong? A pause, a furrowed brow, a quiet voice. Let it be, Hisao. That's one of the most direct shut-ups I have ever heard from Reen. I don't think I can really explain it in a way that would make sense. Yeah, Reen doesn't want to have this conversation either. That may be for the better. But how rare of her to admit that even she has some kind of limits. I always thought Reen was all but ignorant of her tendency to get distracted, so much that she inadvertently obfuscates everything she says. You never explain anything in a way that would make sense. Fair counter. Nobody else has ever asked me to. I guess that's how it is. But I always wanted to make sense of you, to find out who you are. I still want to, can't you see? I know you can't. But I do. Is that why I keep this up? It pains you as much as it pains me. It's unlikely to be of any use to either. We did things and said things that can't be undone. It's as if you and me being close to each other just hurts us both, but we still deliberately keep doing it. Isn't that silly? Not at all. Anyone who's seen Evangelion knows what that is. Even now, I can see how you force yourself to respond, even though you owe me nothing. Even if it's hard to talk about things like this. Why? Why is it that you paint? There you go. That's a good question.
Because I don't know what else I could do. It's like this feeling that there is no choice, that it's the only possibility.
I'm honestly surprised that Nomiya never asked her that. Then again, given the sort of school he works at, maybe that's simply a conversation he doesn't feel he needs to have with his students.
Like when there are only watermelon-flavored popsicles left in the store, but you need to eat a popsicle.
Her poor metaphor aside, she didn't really answer anything. If possible, this makes even less sense than not knowing. Hisao, it's because she's disabled. She has literal and significant physiological limitations on what she can do. But if you don't want to paint...
Not like that. You had to come to this school even though you probably didn't want to have a heart attack.
She pauses, frowning as if something in what she said didn't please her.
At least, I think you wouldn't.
Her careful follow-up is followed in turn by another shorter pause, with another smaller frown.
Would you like to have a heart attack?
No, I wouldn't. And I didn't want to.
But you're doing fine, aren't you? Or are you still sad about it?
Oof, it's a tough one. Reen's question makes me realize that I haven't really thought about my illness for weeks. Aside from chugging down my medication every day, there has been no need to concern myself with my broken heart, which I'm only thankful for, really. Getting to know new people, a new school, a new town, a new life, it all has caught me and made the past fade away. No. Guess even I can't dwell on the past indefinitely.
See, even watermelon doesn't really taste bad if you have to eat it.
Her half-nonsensical closure seems to put an end to the subject in Reen's mind, so I just nod in uncertain confirmation. There are two kinds of silences: awkward ones that you want to break, and comfortable ones that you don't mind. The first kind is bad, because it makes your thoughts go awry, like mine do now. Looking at Reen makes me feel bad. I don't want to feel like this. Looking at Reen makes me feel exhausted. I really tried my best. She tried to... I have no idea. But we ended up like this, and she ended up screwing up her exhibition opening. It feels like we're at a dead end. There's no direction to continue to. I reached out for her yesterday thinking it would be the last time. She walked away. I want it to be me. I want to be me. What the heck does that even mean? Reen, if anyone, is most definitely herself. I feel kind of relieved that I'm not the one to blame, but this still grates on my mind. Why did she run away? It didn't make sense yesterday. It doesn't make sense today. The things she said feel like they should make sense, but they just don't to me. You know, about that thing you just said.
Which one of them?
Painting. Say said something like that to me before. That a true artist does not paint because she wants to, but because she must. And I've been wondering about what she said. Why do artists have to paint? My question is probably pretty stupid. At least Reen looks at me in the blank way that seems to say so.
I don't know. Am I an artist?
Well, you paint stuff and you have an exhibition too. I'd say you qualify.
I think I still don't know. But okay.
The thinking pause that follows seems to last for half an eternity. Unlike most people, Reen doesn't flavor her thinking pauses by body language or saying like or or anything. I've noticed that I might prefer her way. The usual way even annoys me, as if people were so infatuated by the sound of their own voice, they just have to keep making some noise, even when they are just thinking what they could say next.
I'm certainly not guilty of that.
Surely not. Let's move on. Reen just comes to a full stop when she is thinking. It's disconcerting because reacting to people spacing out is always hard, but she comes off as less obnoxious.
I think I want someone to see what's inside me. Not the way doctors and serial killers do. The way that doesn't make me feel lonely.
I can relate.
This is what you call metaphorical, you see.
Please don't lecture me about self-evident things.
It's not self-evident that this is self-evident.
So you present a painting to someone and expect him to magically see a glimpse of your soul.
It's not like that. It's just a little like that, but not really. Don't you understand?
I do, and I don't. You know, I feel a little bit of despair every time you ask that question.
What question?
About whether I understand you or not. She seems almost surprised at my clarification.
Oh, it's not really a question. It's one of those kind that you don't have to answer.
Rhetorical.
Yeah, that's the word. A question that is not a question is a rhetorical question. How nice. That reminds me. It doesn't really make sense. What kind of a question is one that isn't a question?
A rhetorical one.
What kind of an answer is an answer that doesn't answer anything?
Is that a rhetorical question? An interesting question indeed. If a rhetorical question is a question that doesn't question anything, would an answer which doesn't give an answer be a rhetorical answer? Or would it itself be a rhetorical question?
You are not funny. But if you don't like it, would you like me to say something else instead? I don't have any good ones, though. How about your pants are on fire? This can be our secret language.
Reen's honest-to-goodness silliness, made twice more ridiculous by the fact that I know she is dead serious, derails me like it always does. It's like some kind of a safety lock to prevent me from becoming too much of a worrywart, dragging even my own thoughts off the ground where they should be. Makes me smile confusedly, but only on the inside. Even though the corners of my mouth are not drawing into a grin, I'm still impressed by her ease of wrecking any attempt at being too serious. Should she will so forget and ignore things that bug her? Things that bother her? Should she will so be free of whatever burden being her means? Or am I the only one who feels burdened by being myself? No thanks. But still, the times when I feel that I am on the same page as you are pretty rare. It feels like there's this huge gap, and sometimes you just go to the other side, and I don't have any way to reach you from where I am. It's like you're in some completely different place at times, even though you're right here. That's right. There is an insurmountable discontinuity, an imaginary glass wall that blocks comprehension from happening. There might be such a gap between any two people, but with Reen, it feels more tangible. Reen does not react to my thoughts, not to the ones I uttered aloud, nor the ones I did not. It's even worse with art. I'm not very good at art, I admit it. I joined the art club because I thought it could be interesting. And I guess it is. I like art. I like your art too. But just like with you, I can't comprehend it. I'm pretty sure nobody really can. This seems to worry her slightly.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I guess that art is meant to be interpreted, not understood. That's how I'd put it.
That's a sad thought.
I guess it might feel like one. Does it make you feel sad for yourself? Reen thinks about this for a while, and then shakes her head with surprisingly vehemently. The first thing she focuses her eyes on afterward is me. Both of these things make me glad and relieved. That's good, isn't it? Anyway, you should go see the teacher and apologize properly. I think he's worried about you. Can you do that? This time she nods her head. Only, it's not as vehement. The hallway is empty, almost intimidating. Nomiya's office is the art classroom at the other end of the third-floor hallway. Our steps echo disturbingly. The atmosphere is unlike on a normal afternoon. It feels like the school knows that nobody will be coming back for a month, too. The door's open, but not very inviting. I'll, wait outside. Nodding barely noticeably, Reed strides in without stopping, and naturally without knocking. Maybe that's why it takes a few seconds before I hear the teacher's voice from inside.
There you are! Hello.
A conflict arises. Should I stay here or go somewhere else? I'm not sure if I even want to eavesdrop on them. Manners lose to curiosity, so I stay close enough to listen in. This should be interesting. I do wonder what kind of things Nomiya says to Rin. Their voices echo in the hallway, but no matter. There's nobody around, save for me.
Dear girl, what on earth were you thinking, leaving like that on the big night?
I couldn't say anything. Compared to Nomiya's scolding tone, Rin sounds awfully quiet and withdrawn. Her words seem to drown under his.
I have to say, I'm very disappointed in you, Tezuka.
It was no good at all.
Never mind all the things I did for you, but what about Sei? What about all the guests who wanted to meet you?
There was nobody. Even Hisao.
You have embarrassed us very badly, Tezuka. Reputation is what counts. Surely you know that.
It's all right. I don't need it.
Don't need? What do you think you know?
Rin's replies only seem to agitate the teacher more, his voice rising with every sentence.
The path of an artist is a thorny one, I'll tell you that. Thorny! You have to see the big picture. There will be bad times and good times.
Things are like they are. It'll be all right, even.
You might now think that it's oh so wonderful and easy, but how far would you have gotten without me? I won't always be there for you. When you lie on the floor of your minuscule room, you're went 3 weeks late, your mind blank for the 4th week straight, then you will wish you had listened to old Nomiya a bit more. When you keep measuring how the shadow of your chair becomes longer over the spring, because that's all your lethargy allows, maybe that's when you will start caring about your career.
That doesn't matter.
Your resolve is not enough.
I'm not a resolved person.
You are not a resolved person. And tell me, why? Why did we go through all this trouble if it amounts to a mosquito shit?
Oh dear, teacher blew fuse. Him yelling at Rin makes me feel bystander's guilt. If I had gone with her, maybe he wouldn't have gotten so angry. If I had not let her run away, he wouldn't have gotten angry in the first place. I could still go and save her. I don't think I can. I was the same. I yelled at Rin too. I'm feeling all the more embarrassed about it now. I felt justified to vent my anger at her face just because it felt it was her fault that I was so frustrated. I was no more justified than the teacher is. A terrible silence sets upon the hallway. Rin does not have anything to say to Nomiya. Whether she has run out of answers or she knows that arguing would only make him angrier is anyone's guess. The teacher has nothing more to say either, it seems. Or maybe he just ran out of breath. For a moment I imagine the two of them just staring at each other, one full of red-hot anger, the other full of... yes, what? I can't tell how Rin feels. Not before, not now. Teacher seems to expect Rin to say something too, but since she doesn't, he finally continues in a quieter, but not less angry voice.
What worth is there in doing so much work if the outcome is nothing?
Still, Rin will not say anything.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten so excited.
He does not sound sorry at all. Rather, his tone is cold and sharp, like he was spitting the words out of his mouth.
It seems that I was expecting too much. You are not an artist after all.
Yeah, not sorry at all. He storms out of the clubroom and down the stairs without noticing me. After he is gone, I peek carefully inside the classroom. Reen is left standing there in front of the teacher's desk.
I couldn't say I am sorry.
She says it into the humid air of the classroom, not to me. But since the room won't answer her, I will have to. And I think that's as far as we'll go for today. And I will see you all on the next one.